need Greenland. We have to have Greenland. We need Greenland. It's not a question of, do you think we can do without it? We can't.
It seems like Trump is just obsessed with Greenland.
Donald Trump has set his sights on Greenland.
We need Greenland for national security and international security. The world needs us to have Greenland. I'm talking about protecting the free world.
And most Greenlanders are taking his threats very seriously.
Greenland is not for sale.
But it's also weird that another country wants to take over.
We are not slaves.
But what's really behind Trump's obsession with one of the world's most vast empty spaces? And how far is he prepared to go to get it?
I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
Greenland is the world's largest island. Geographically part of North America, it's been owned by Denmark since the 1800s. US interest in Greenland isn't new.
The United States has made efforts to get Greenland since the 19th century. And there have been at least kind of like 6 discussions within the US administration since that time.
The 1941 Greenland Agreement allowed the US to establish military bases and personnel on the island.
Henrik de Kaufmann turns the protection of Greenland over to the United States until Nazi-occupied Denmark shall regain her lost sovereignty.
In this world of broken treaties, the word of the American people and their government can be trusted.
But can Trump be trusted? There are reasons to suggest perhaps not. Greenland is currently home to the world's biggest undeveloped deposits of rare earth minerals. These are critical resources that are used in everything from mobile phones to key defense technologies.
We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before.
I was told by a former government minister, the first time Trump thought about obtaining Greenland was during his first term when the Australian geologist was at the Oval Office. And it's kind of like a semi-joke. He said, you should get Greenland. Trump seemed to like the idea, and it stuck.
But I do think that there is a strategic issue as well with this competition, the competition with China. China also is very eager to get its hands on these same minerals, in fact.
China dominates the rare earths market, so with trade wars with the US raging, Trump is keen to source rare earths through other means.
I also signed an executive order to dramatically increase production of critical minerals and rare earths. One of the things we are doing is signing a deal very shortly with Ukraine.
It's not entirely clear if it's actually viable to extract them at a cost that would make it worthwhile at the moment, but Trump seems to be obsessed with the idea of exploiting Ukraine's natural resources, even though some of them are located in a war zone. The details don't really seem to bother him so far.
But there's another reason for Trump's obsession with the island: Greenland's unique geographical position. Greenland occupies a key position along 2 potential shipping routes through the Arctic.
As Arctic ice melts, shipping routes around Greenland could also become more accessible, significantly cutting transit times and costs, and avoiding bottlenecks like the Panama Canal.
The opening up of these new shipping lanes around Greenland could completely change global trade dynamics.
Suddenly, there's a new waterway that's opened up. In other words, China can sail into the Atlantic, passing through the Arctic.
The Arctic is incredibly important for Putin as well.
Those waterways are a crucial point for surveillance and military presence, which is why Trump has highlighted the need for national security, particularly in countering potential threats from other countries.
If you look at Greenland right now, if you look at the waterways, you have Chinese and Russian ships all over the place. You don't even need binoculars. We're not letting that happen.
He may want it, but is there really a chance Trump could take Greenland? And if so, how might he actually do it? Trump first raised the idea of buying Greenland in 2019, but was told repeatedly by officials it wasn't for sale.
We will never be for sale, and we will never be Americans.
We shouldn't be bought by anyone.
USA skal ikke overtage Grønland. Grønland grønlændernes.
Let me put it in words you might understand, Mr. Trump.
Trump claims most Greenlanders would welcome the opportunity to become American citizens, but an opinion poll conducted in January 2025 suggested 85% of Greenlanders disagree.
In Nuuk, the capital of Greenland, some of them admitted to being quite scared by the prospects.
We don't want you here. He's arrogant, and I think he is dangerous for Greenland.
We are not for sale.
Trump has also tried to cast doubt over Denmark's ownership.
People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right.
Vice President J.D. Vance has waded in with assertions that Denmark has failed Greenland.
You have not done a good job by the people of Greenland. Denmark has not kept pace in devoting the resources necessary to keep this base, to keep our troops, and in my view, to keep the people of Greenland safe from a lot of very aggressive incursions from Russia, from China, and from other nations.
If he understands he's not going to get it through diplomatic means or economic methods or pressuring Denmark in any other way, then logically the only option for him is to send in the troops.
And the question of whether or not Trump would invade Greenland has to be taken seriously when you consider land grabs in general over the years. These have been conducted by dictatorships trying to retain power and popularity.
These countries are calling us up, kissing my ass.
Vladimir Putin can only be delighted by the turn of events. Trump's election for him has been a great triumph. He has now in the White House an ally and a friend who has made clear that he admires and looks up to the Russian leader. When it comes to Greenland and Trump's claims that he wants to take it for America, this in a way serves to justify Putin's land grab in Ukraine.
So again, kind of like great powers carving up smaller territories among themselves. And obviously with kind of Trump and Putin's fairly warm relationship since Trump returned to power in January. Again, we can't exclude that the Kremlin and the White House would do some kind of deal where Russia wouldn't object to the United States taking hold of Greenland and Panama or whatever else they want that isn't immediately within what the Kremlin sees of its sphere of influence.
Donald Trump has ramped up threats to seize control of Greenland.
We need Greenland for national security and international security, so I think we'll go as far as we have to go.
Trump's kind of claim that the United States needs it is kind of difficult to understand because it already has it for military purposes. I mean, no one's trying to kick the US military bases off the island.
And so you could, raise the question of why would you need to actually invade it? I mean, they could send more military personnel there with Denmark's blessing.
The prospect of US military intervention in Greenland is a fairly surreal scenario. Because, of course, an attack on Greenland would trigger Article 5 of NATO's self-defense.
So whether Trump sees the idea of annexing Greenland as a way of having full access to all the minerals, I think is probably more to the point, and that is what people suspect, is that he'd like to basically sort of make it America's 51st state if he could, so that they could start mining.